Live! Hello, everybody! Welcome to the second Ultimate Guide to Hair demo stream. If you don't know why we're here, well, let me weave you a tale. So right now, Neil and myself, and Katie have all worked to create a book called The Ultimate Guide to Hair, which is a D&D supplement that includes over 60 pages of new monsters, classes, magic items, spells, basically everything for D&D 5th edition. And we are running that on Kickstarter right now as we speak. Last time I looked, we had 69 hours left.
Nice.
Not a lie, that was this morning. So we are running out of time to get this book towards its next stretch goal. Luckily, we have already funded. We are working towards our second stretch goal right now. We are about $700 away from that. So if you like what you see here, please consider going to that Kickstarter page and backing the book. We are all going to be playing a bunch of stuff from the book itself. Subclasses, magic items will show up, magic spells. We did have a very good time last time we visited these characters, so I'm very excited to see what happens today. But I guess we should, tell people who we are. So, hey everybody, my name is Celeste Konowich, and I will be one of your players today, playing Hecuba, the druid from the Order of the Witch's Knot, which is a subclass featured in the book.
Hello, everyone. I'm JB, also at Drop the Die most places, and I will be playing the role of Cinder Dres Argun, the Bard of Curiosities. Very interesting character playing over from our last session. Be sure to check that out if you haven't already after the stream tonight. It was very fun.
It was. Hi, I am Katie. I am going to be playing Weave. They are a woven sorcerer, Nissus bloodline, and they are extremely extra.
That's true. Yeah.
Very true. Based on the alphabet, I believe that I go next. And I am Neil. Everywhere online, you'll find me at Jotmaniac, Jack of all trades, master of none. And I will be sitting in the DM seat this time around. And I have foolishly created, or really reskinned, the Tomb of Horrors into the Loom of Horrors. And I hope nobody dies, or they can. That's fine. Either way.
I hope somebody dies. I mean, we're all friends here, but seriously.
Yes, but that's me.
I am Paul Harpering. I will be playing Arturo, a Baba so talented he only needs one name. Dedicated to the way of the wild hair found in the Ultimate Guide to Hair. And I am super stoked to be playing this character again because it was a lot of fun, and this whole supplement is full of fun, amazing extra things, and I'm happy to see a bunch of them again.
Yes, and I'm Sage at Staff of Sage, and today I am playing a human, but no ordinary human. This woman looks like a Medusa. She is a cleric dedicated to the Medusa and all things wonderful. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's everybody, and we all know why we're here. So Neil, take it away.
I will. I am terrified and excited about everything that will happen from this moment on. But let's say you didn't watch last time. Where we ended is that there was some intrigue, some espionage, and just a crazy gnome. And at the very end, we found out that the gnome was developing, had in their, I don't know, kind of was getting ready to make a wig of power. And there was also Action Hank. That's a whole nother thing. Seriously, if you haven't watched it,
You really
some
need
of this
to.
may be a lot for you. But let's go around, and what does it look like now that there's been a successful battle? We've talked about who we are. Let's talk a little bit more about who we're playing and how they look, because if we're talking extra, that's probably the most extra question I can ask. We'll go back in the same order. JB, if you want to start. Okay.
Sorry, I was choking to death on literally nothing.
Hate it when that happens.
Cinder is a lichen nope. They are a drow character that has been touched by lycanthropy sometime in the past. This fight, I do not believe Cinder was actually hurt, unless my notes are very incorrect. So, that is incorrect. I was healed. So Cinder would have some sludge left on from this demon that tried to wheel them into their stomach. They have their hair all matted up and pushed to the side from using the hair dryer of blasting that they have strapped to their chest. They have a top hat, like a circus ringleader top hat, askew atop their head, and their hair is kind of matted to the side and overlapping it at odd angles. And right now they're running their fingers through it, trying to straighten it back out. Black and white stripes all over their body and cat-like eyes as some Siberian were-tiger blood courses through their veins. And they would say something along the lines of, "That was terrible." And adjust the hat again.
Perfect. Katie.
Yeah, so we've seeing this nasty ass creature kind of dipped out using the mustache chopper spell. So they this mustache falls and because of their grand rainbow cloak that's just made of hair, they just fall lightly to the ground.
Oh, Katie, there is an addendum in the spell that at the end of said spell, the mustache rips off of your face and flies into the sun, and you have to take 1d6 piercing damage. If you read the wording of the spell more closely.
Yeah, so they go, "Ugh!" But then fall gracefully because they take their damage. But yeah, so they are a construct made completely of hair. Most of the ones that you would find are, brown, red, blonde hair. But because of this Nissus bloodline, from the hair that they were comprised of at the time of their creation, they're made out of like lavender and indigo hair. And the hair that comes out of the top of their head is styled perfectly, but does not move in any sort of breeze. It's just hair sprayed to filth. And then
they're slightly crunchy from hair.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the hair is woven in such a style that it looks like they're wearing like this tightly fitted leotard that is cinched in the center. With a big bedazzled belt buckle. And then the only other thing that they really wear is just these like thigh-high, shiny leather, bubblegum pink 6-inch heels that just clip-clop wherever they go. That's it. That's them.
Paul, you're up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's see. Arturo's a bit of a ways away, I think. But seeing the creature fall would do a graceful turn. And then the two short swords that he was wielding, he would cross them over his head in a totally animate out scene with light reflecting off the edges of them as they shrink back down and become his barber shears. And he spins them around and tucks them back into his belt, which is over some black silk robes. And then it pans up to his gloriously long, smooth goatee and mustache, and then pans all the way up to his face, where his enormously coiffed eyebrows stretch and extend outside of either side of his forehead. And then his long rainbow-colored hair is pulled up and twisted into a top knot with a straight razor through the top, folded up, and then turns to survey the rest of his comrades. Is everyone all right?
I just want to give a quick shout out. Thank you so much, Flower Crown Gaming, for backing the Kickstarter.
Hey!
You're awesome. Thank you.
This is like if Quentin Tarantino directed Alice in Wonderland, this is the kind of shit we're describing right now.
Yes.
Yeah, truly.
Yeah, I agree. And Fandra is this woman who has kind of this olive green skin, and she has these long green viper-like dreads that you see they curl into these very realistic looking snakes that hiss and fork their tongue out, tasting the air at you. And she has these bright, like amber eyes. And she's wearing this very kind of loose, flowy, kind of blousey shirt with a big brocade jacket and high waisted kind of piratey pants. And yes, it's definitely probably actually the most normal looking one out of all of these fools.
She has snakes for hair.
Yeah, come to think of it. And yes, and she's like, I'm fine. Does anyone else? I could also supply healing if it is needed.
And I suppose the final person of the party, because I was a player last time, was, oh my gosh, I totally spaced on the name.
Marguth.
I
That's
just remember
right.
Action Hank.
That's all I remember too. So Marguth, is that what I named?
Yeah. I was like, nice random generator name, Neil.
Whatever.
Hank
The
was the
shade.
real character.
Yeah. So whatever. Mar is a dwarf with the longest beard and hair you've probably ever seen, and it is arrow straight because they were wielding the mace of flat ironing. And it is a wonderful thing that Celeste had made and I had to use. But the more important character that you also see is the most majestic horse that has ever lived, and that is, of course, Action Hank. Celeste, we'll wait for a moment and we'll get to your character. But as soon as the wig of power falls to the ground, you'll hear Mar say, and Mar used a pirate voice because that's really funny to me. Yar, there's only one place we be going. It's to the Loom of Horrors. And I will have everyone go ahead and roll me a history check to see what you know about the Loom of Horrors.
16.
Natural 20.
Oh,
Oh.
well, I got a 9.
Natural 1.
Oh my.
There must be balance.
What?
Okay. So something fun that I like to do is to do less work and have you guys do more work. That's a personal DM style of mine. Katie, what is a legend that you have heard about the Loom of Horrors?
I've heard that the Loom of Horrors has used the hair of many scalpings in order to create a tapestry that said it will one day end the world.
You could have made anything you want.
Had to
You
go
could have
big.
had it be a shopping mall. You chose it.
I got nervous. I panicked and I made it awful.
Katie's been playing too much with me lately.
Yeah. Venture Maidens has trained Katie for this moment.
Listen.
Okay, well, that's totally fine. But what does Arturo know of the Loom of Horrors?
Arturo has heard that the blanket of one of the princes of hell's children was woven from wool sheared from the sheep raised in the 7th circle of hell.
Oh boy.
I like it. So with that knowledge, you also know that one of the reasons that oh wait, okay, I have a better idea. Cinder, what are you dead set on that is 100% wrong? Like, you will tell everyone in the group that this is the most true thing that you know in your heart of hearts, but it is not true at all with your 1 on your history check.
All I know for certain about the Loom of Horrors is that it's not horrible at all. People go, it is like one of those big balls of yarn. It is a loom, it's big, but it is not so terrible. There's no... We should go. We should go to celebrate this wonderful victory.
Oh, it's so good. Okay, Phandra, same question, but yours you're not sure about.
So Phandra is pretty certain that in order to craft the loom, the tapestry of when once completed will end the world, that there is an enslaved population of silkworms that are like the size of cows that produce the silk for this tapestry.
It's always
good.
worms with
Why?
you.
Why do you love worms, Sage?
It's always worms
Why?
and putrescence.
It's my
So good.
brand, okay?
Okay, so Arturo, you also know that the reason that Mag would bring it up is because there's only one place that anything could be done at this point with that wick of power. And the choices are to either complete it or to destroy it. And the loom is the one and only place that is strong enough to do either of those things. So it has to be taken back there.
Very well. Then we must venture onward, friends, if we want to see this through.
And so you will also, well, I guess I can use my pirate voice. Did I name where I thought you should go? No, of course not. What would be the point of that? Yar, you need be going to the desert. The Arye are out there. They'll know where to go. And the Arye are I wanted to originally call it a were-lion race, but that didn't feel right because we also had some were other things. So it is actually a race of like anthropomorphic lions that are nomadic. And so then they live in this desert. So if you can find them, you can probably find where the loom is. He says, Yar, I can't be going with you. I need to be taking Action Hank back where he belongs.
Where did Action Frank come from, by the way? He didn't come in with us, did he?
No, he comes from a plane of horses. But N-E, not A-I-N. Yeah. He needs to go back. Action Hank has no natural predators.
Equestria, we must go.
Yes.
Actually, that sounds way better than the Loom of Horrors.
We should take Action Hank back home.
Action Hank may need an escort. Perhaps you'll wait here, and when we finish this Loom of Horrors business, we'll meet up.
It's a perfect stretch goal. If you want to see us take
Action
home,
Hank, back to the plane of horses, please. Donate right now to the Ultimate Guide to Hair, live on Kickstarter. Be cool like Green Merdragon, who is also a donor who's hanging out in the chat. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes. So Mag will leave. Yeah, I'll wait, but every day that goes by is a risk. I can only tame Action Hank for so long.
Oh, I'm sure we'll be able to snip this off quite quickly.
Oh, so, but Mag will say I keep dropping out of character voice. We'll go back. Yar, but you need one more. You can't be going to the loom with just the four of you.
Do you have any suggestions to add to our little posse here?
Let's camera cut. Where is Celeste? Tell us of your character and where they are.
Sure. So Hecuba is a doll maker background, as chosen from from of course this lovely supplement. I'm also a druid, so I don't live in town. I don't think people would like that very much, but I do peddle my wares. I make remarkably lifelike dolls, woven, of course, out of hair, that resemble people to a scary degree. But some people like that, for like they're museums or gift shops or things like that. So I think I have a little cart that I do push around, just full of dolls that look suspiciously like people, So I might be wandering the streets at this moment. Hecuba is also, she is a gnome, a forest gnome. She's got the long sort of almost white silver hair that's constantly like matted and dirty. She wears a lot of, you can't tell if it's makeup or dirt like on her face, but she always carries a bundle of hair with her wherever she goes, so she can weave these dolls on demand. And she lives somewhere in the forest. People are not exactly sure. People have tried to find where she lives before, but when in the trees, Hecuba cannot be found.
Hashtag dolls on demand.
Dolls on demand. I do children's parties.
Fine. Yeah,
It's like a nightmare Build-A-Bear. Is that what you peddle?
Little girl.
Banjo cherishes her lifelike creation of her.
Yes. My dolls are famous. I am probably infamous, but the dolls are very good.
Weave has been trying to get ones made of themselves, just like 10 of them, just to decorate their home forever. You're a hard woman to get a hold of.
Yes, I like it that way.
Yeah, you need to be going out to the woods. Hecuba, she can take you there. I don't know. Just get out in the woods and start shouting Hecuba. She'll find you.
That sounds rather inefficient.
I knew it was that easy. I would have done that ages ago.
Um,
Lots in my house that need decorating.
Hecuba! Like as I'm walking out of this factory we've been in. Hecuba!
if she wanders the streets, she'll be finding you then too. Guard your hair though. She'll take it.
If I like it, it's what it is.
Hmm.
So you're wandering out of the factory towards the woods.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What time of day is it?
I think when we had
We're
finished,
like
it would be kind of like
late
late afternoon.
afternoon.
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
we did not care about the cover of night for our espionage because our lockpicking method was a giant two-handed mace. So
Okay. Then
we
I
were
think
bold.
Yeah, then I think probably as you get towards the tree line, you begin to hear an assortment of strange bird cries coming from all around you, and you see there's a large collection of ravens just watching you from the tree line as you get closer and closer. And then with a mighty shriek, a great barn owl like raises up from the trees and kind of like swoops down towards you and like lands on the ground, and all of a sudden the brown like feathers are no longer feathers, it's a cloak, and this very small woman stands up in front of you and she's like, "You called. What do you desire?"
That did seem remarkably easy, Weave.
I
Wow,
know.
I'm so sorry for you.
Do you have a party in mind? My schedule is quite full, but I could sneak something in.
Yes, we have a party in the desert we must attend.
Your face, it is remarkable.
I know.
I would like to make it.
Okay. I
Hey,
sit so that you're like eye level.
Weave puts their hand on their hip and they're just like, hold on. I've got money first. I've been trying to get a hold of you forever. If anyone's getting a commission, it's me.
But I've got the face.
Yes.
I suck in my cheeks to show like the cheekbone, you know?
Yeah. I'm like,
No, we all have faces. But we have another issue. We must find the Rie in the desert. Do you know the way, Hecuba?
I know many ways. What is it you seek in the desert?
Loom of horrors.
I hiss and like crawl backwards.
It is that place that people visit
The
and
loom.
they take the photos and have
And
them
totally
drawn.
come back.
I have heard that the Loom of Horrors has some of the most remarkable hair in all the world. If you do wish to go there, I shall take you. But I demand 60% of all the hair that is found there.
You can have
I
100
will
as far as
agree to those terms.
Excellent. Well then, I can certainly show you the way.
After I take a bit of a nap, I had most of my body torn in half. I'm almost out of spells. I've not eaten for several hours. I'm getting a little hangry. Yes, it's terrible. Okay. And Cinder kind of tips backwards and puts their hat on their face as if they're going to sleep right here.
Oh,
It would take a little bit of travel, and you can certainly get a long rest along the way. And Hecuba knows of an REA that is somewhat like almost a campsite where they'll put some like a representative for people to interact with the nomadic tribes. Like they have to have a point so that others can find them. So you're pretty confident you could get people at least to the campsite, find the person you know, and then go from there.
I do a great amount of business with the REA. Beautiful, beautiful mains, you see.
So we'll fast travel. A little map will pop up, dotted lines will cross it, and you are from here to there, and you can see the campsite. How, other than flamboyantly, how do you feel that you as a group would approach?
Boldly.
I was going to say as weary travelers, so there's dissent in the ranks.
I think I'm very suspicious since I'm a forest witch. I mean, person. This desert is just not quite my style, so I'm just looking at cacti suspiciously, vultures suspiciously. You know, the general vibe.
Eyeing everything suspiciously and as if you would like to easily take 60% of its hair.
My standard fee.
Yes. Okay. So you notice that it's a pretty like rudimentary campsite. Not much is going on, but you do notice that there is kind of an REA. They're very easily identifiable. It is a lion person, and you can see that they're kind of slumped over, sitting next to the fire. They look very inattentive for someone that should be guarding a campsite.
My dear, we are looking for a guide.
Okay. So as they start to look up, there's this terrible glassy look in their eyes, and everyone give me a perception check.
Uh-oh.
Oof. 5.
Ooh, pretty good.
No. No.
I don't think
18.
18,
21.
21. I heard of a 5.
Yeah, I got it.
Total of 2.
Ooh.
I rolled a natural 1 plus 1.
Oh my! You have both of your rolls then. And
Mhm.
okay.
All right.
It's
then-
great going into the Tomb of Horrors.
Yes.
Yay!
Maybe you're getting them out now. Maybe it's fine. Hecuba, I didn't catch what you
I
get.
got like a 6.
Okay, so the two that were above 15, you can notice that it seems almost as if there's something like hair that doesn't belong to the creature kind of wrapping around the face, and yes, so they will say, "What do you want?"
We seek a guide to take us to the Loom of Horrors.
There's a lightning strike.
in the desert in the daytime, and they will laugh at you, and from their back, made of hair, these wings will unfurl, and then they will just dive straight for you. And we will roll for initiative.
What?
The hair goyle. I cannot make this fucking shit up.
Is
All
that a
right,
one
I rolled a 1
again?
again.
Whoa.
I
New
did roll a
dice.
1
New
too.
dice.
The 3 different dice.
Oh my
That's
god.
insane.
14 for Weave.
Arturo got a 14 as well.
What's your dex?
18.
Oh, yeah. I forgot you're a monk.
Yeah. Don't
Yeah.
Don't
worry.
even know why I asked.
Already written Arturo above your name. So
Hecuba got a 17.
okay. Does anyone? Nope. Never mind. So who? I heard there were 2 ones rolled. Who ended up with the better bonus off of that?
3.
I have a 5.
Okay. Hecuba. 5 for Phaedra. Okay, let's see. Okay, Hecuba, you are up first.
Okay, excellent. So I think, yeah, Hecuba like sort of hisses and like scuttles away from this thing that's now flying in the sky. And then she is going to yes. Okay. I'm going to use a 5th level spell called Wolf Out, which is included in the Ultimate Guide to Hair Supplement, now live on Kickstarter. So essentially, I'm calling upon the spirit of a powerful wolf to infuse my being. So I'm spending my action to kind of transform into this hybrid, almost like a were creature, but not quite. Just a scary wolf human hybrid. So while I'm here, my walking speed increases by 10 feet. I have dark vision. I can make all strength-based checks with advantage. My AC increases. And then we might see what else Hecuba might do. But basically, she drops into this crouch and turns into this horrific creature, getting ready for next turn.
That is terrifying. But I'm sure I'll be okay. Or not. Let's see. Well, so Arturo, you are up.
Look like these Arye need a shave. And he pulls his scissors out and twirls them over his head, and they split apart into these 2 short swords. And he's gonna charge towards one of them and try and slash at its wings and get a 7.
Yeah, that's not gonna do it.
Not gonna do it.
No.
Well, I get a second attack. That's a 13.
That will do it.
Oh.
Woo!
And then 8 magical damage.
Okay. And then for flavor's sake, you are able to get one of the wings and you see this slash kind of open up in it. And immediately afterwards, it will close, but you can then see it open again, kind of in the same place on the body of the REA.
Oh.
And so
Weird.
8 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then I get my my
right.
bonus action monk attack.
Yep.
Wah! That will be a 15.
Yep.
Cool. And then that is 5 damage.
Okay. So you do a total of 13. And the same kind of thing, where the slash, especially if you're focusing on the wings made of hair, which, yeah, that's a whole terrifying concept as well. But as soon as the slash opens, it recloses and opens again on the body of the REA.
Okay.
Weave, you're up.
Okay. I'm sorry. Did you say how many were there? Was it
Nope.
just one?
There's just one
Okay.
hulking REA with giant wings coming off of it.
Okay. If it's up in the air, I'm gonna try to do something here, and I'm gonna cast Hairball
Okay.
up at it to see if I can restrain it and make it fall. And so Weave is going to just bring forth this magic that has just her lavender and indigo threads. And it's going to all just kind of consolidate into one big mass, and she will just throw it up at this thing as it just kind of glomps onto it in this horrible, somehow crunchy mass of gross hair. And it's going to need to make a dexterity saving throw, DC 16.
Okay, and there's definitely two ways that someone could interpret the term throw it up. But I do believe you mean like with your hand.
Maybe.
Yeah, boy.
Ugh.
It's okay, guys. I'm a construct. I don't have bile.
It's very clean puke.
The
So-
cleanest hairball.
Oof. So what kind of check was it again? I'm sorry.
Dexterity DC 16.
Okay. So you will notice, like right as the hairball is about to hit, that the Arye will separate from the wings, and you'll notice that it is apparently a creature in and of itself. And this is what is known as the Loch Dragon. And it is a dragon type creature made completely of hair.
Weird.
And you can find that right now in the Ultimate Guide to Hair, which is currently on Kickstarter.
Back now.
Yeah. If you'd like to terrify your players, this is what's going to happen next. So the Arye will be trapped in it and then kind of fall to the ground. They weren't very high off of the ground, but they are stuck. And the Loch Dragon is not, because they passed their test. And they will move to attack Hecuba, even though they are in their wolf form.
They do take half damage.
Oh, that's right. There's force damage as well. So
Mhm.
what is... was the
That's going to
damage?
be 10, 16, 21, 22, 24. So 12 is halved.
Math is fun. Okay. Yeah, we had trouble with the alphabet before stream, and I'm having trouble with math right now. So,
It's a tough day.
yes, they will make an attack against Hecuba. What is your armor class?
16 in my wolf form.
Okay. I believe I can find it. There we go. So I got a 17. As you see this bisected jaw kind of open up and try and bite you. We will go ahead. Keep making sure I do this the right way. Go ahead and give me a... Let's make sure we do grapple right in 5th edition. Go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Ooh, yeah, that's like a 5.
Okay, well,
Oh, no.
you definitely needed a 14. So I'm going to follow that up.
Wait. It's grapple check?
Yes.
Okay, then I can make... do I have to do dexterity or can I do athletics? Shit. Strength? Shit, I don't know. Damn it. Because I would get advantage if it was a strength check to resist.
Okay.
Because of my wolf body.
I'm fine with that because you
Okay.
definitely used a 5th level spell to turn into a wolf person.
Yay! Okay, on the second one, I got a 17 on the die, because I get to make that with advantage if we're doing strength.
Yes,
Okay,
which
sweet.
is totally fine.
And then so 19.
Okay, that's more than enough. It was a DC 14.
Bite. I
but you
snap
did.
at it with my nasty jaws.
Good. It will still have hit you.
No.
For 15 damage.
Ah! I'm so wee. It hurts so much.
So there's like I said, the bisected jaw will just open up and try and wrap itself around you, and you're able to just rip it away as it takes part of you with it. So that leaves us with Phandra. You're up.
So she is going to roll up on this Loch Dragon, and you see her amber eyes crackle a little bit as she begins to stare down this creature, and you see all of the snakes that compose her hair kind of rear up their heads and kind of start bobbing in this very kind of hypnotic fashion. And she's going to use her Medusa stare. So I'm going to spend my action to stare down this Loch Dragon, and it must make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. A whopping 10.
Haha! It fails. It feels as if it's being turned to stone and is restrained.
Ooh. Very nice. Okay. And So I'm trying to think of like what does hair look like as it, because so it's restrained. Do you feel like the move will actually start to solidify the hair, or is it just like a feeling? Is it more than a feeling?
More than a feel. So I feel like the hair that kind of composes it begins to kind of turn against it and weave itself around its limbs and like locks them in place.
Awesome. So it's as tough as Weave's hair is. Got it.
Mhm. It's a crunchy bitch. And then it must repeat the saving throw at the end of its next turn, and it lasts until they succeed.
Nice.
And
Cinder.
then,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
and I was gonna use my bonus action to activate my my extensions of enmity, and they're going to attack.
Yes.
Ooh, that is a 19.
Oh yes, very much so.
It'll take 3 damage.
If you would like, you could go ahead and make that at advantage because they're restrained on the chance of a 20.
I did.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
And that is my turn.
How much damage was it? Sorry.
3.
Okay. Perfect. Cinder, you're up.
They did what I was gonna do. I was gonna restrain. Oh shit. I hate playing bards. So unsure what to do myself in this situation, seeing that this thing is just overloaded with different spells, and knowing that the REA is now safe, allegedly, I give finger quotes. I'm going to walk up to Hecuba and I'll say, "Pardon the intrusion, but boop," and I'll touch you and cast Greater Invisibility so that you can do whatever the hell you want to do while you're in this wolf form invisibly. And I will say, "Good luck with things and all of that." And then I will back up 30 feet. And that's going to be it for my turn. Just making an invisible gnomish werewolf.
Just you wait.
Yes, you are up, invisible gnomish werewolf person.
Okay.
Hecuba.
So here we go. I'm going to use the next phase of Wolf Out. So as I'm going to, now that I'm invisible, I guess I'll run around to position myself like most advantageously behind this thing to like pounce on it. But right before I do so, I'm going to throw back my head and howl and scream like, "Sisters and brothers, join me!" And from the ether, I conjure 8 wolves that appear as per the Conjure Woodlands Beast spell. So 8 wolves all of a sudden appear like in this circle around this thing where it's restrained, and I launch myself on it with my claw hands and start tearing at it, as do my 8 wolves. So here we go. What is my
Wow.
Before I roll for 8 wolves, what's my AC number?
To hit.
Yeah, it'll go faster if I just.
So 16, but then of course everything's at advantage.
Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, so one, yes.
So 16, the number of d20s you need to roll for the 8 wolves.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. 1 does not hit. So one derpy wolf just can't even. Maybe it's because there are too many wolves. I think
Can't find
like,
space.
Yeah, they're all like, so we're just like wolf pack, like tearing at this thing. Hecuba's like right in the middle of it, tearing this hair up just like by fistfuls off of this thing. So
All you see is a fistful of hair lift up, disappear, reappear as it flies from your hand because you're completely invisible.
well, I think as soon as I attack, it goes away. But
It is greater invisibility, madam.
Yeah.
oh
You
my
are still
god,
fucking invisible.
that's terrifying. Okay, so let's see, 30.
Poltergeist shit over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So 37 plus 14. It's gonna be my
51.
wolves. My wolves do 51 damage as they're tearing at this thing. It would have to succeed on a strength check or be knocked prone, but I think we handled that. Oh my god, they also have pack tactics, so it would have been an extra advantage. This is ridiculous. 8 wolves, everybody. And then let's Hecuba's little fingies as she, let's see. All right, so she is also gonna get a bite in here, which is gonna be an additional 10 damage. Having a
Nasty.
great time. Yeah.
So as this disembodied howl is released and these spectral wolves just show up out of nowhere. I mean, there's one wolf who just doesn't see the point of it. He just kind of wanders off. And
Full of
just,
ennui.
He's on lookout. You know?
is there anything else? Do I eat the lion?
Is the
And it is just torn to shreds. The lock dragon is just bits and pieces as the so how long do the spectral wolves last?
So let's see, they last for 1 hour.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
It's druid, right?
Yeah, so the lock dragon has been summarily disembodied and then some. So yeah, you will fall out of combat. But before we do, had you not succeeded on your check, there's a fun little move that I did called subjugate, where at which point you would make a constitution check as to whether or not the lock dragon would just take over your body for a time.
Ooh.
It's
Mhm.
super scary for players.
No thanks.
Yep.
Do not want.
And at that point, then the lock dragon can choose to have any damage that is taken go towards the creature it has in its grasp until it dies, and then it is on its own. So
Very
yeah, cool. What do you? I mean, how does the rest of the party react to the terrifying situation that continues to be Hecuba?
Oh yeah, we're tearing it all apart. Like we're all wolves, and we're just like scattering the body across, just making sure there's nothing left.
Cinder has seen stuff like this before,
Yeah.
being a lycanthrope.
Yep.
So Cinder's spinning a cane on their finger and walks over to this REA who's been wounded, like nonchalantly, and then over Cinder's shoulders, the like the chaos and the gnashing teeth and invisible flailing. You just see the mist from like the scream in the dust, but you can't see this wolf gnome. Are you okay? Poke with the cane.
Oh yeah, I'm just fine now. What? And then there's a moment that processing you all,
Catch
and
up. It's
the carnage. Thank you. What are you? Why are you here? Why did you save me?
Cinder turns and holds the cane out so that it doesn't hit the ground and plops next to where this REA is sitting, and then crosses their legs and watches the show as things are getting torn apart, and says, I'm sure that they will all catch you up in a moment. And she pats the REA like on his thigh and casts Cure Wounds to repair some of the damage that they've done. 11 points of healing to our REA friend. She says, sorry about the
Oh no. That what? However, I felt before. This is much better, even with the cuts. That's fine.
So after a minute passes, Hecuba reverts back to normal, I guess. But I'm still invisible.
It's only 1 minute as
Oh,
well.
okay. So all of a sudden, the noise stops, and sitting in the middle, like on top of this creature, munching a fistful of hair, Hecuba is like, oh, yes, here we are again. I think, and all the wolves like come in, and I'm gonna pet them as they form a protective ring about me.
Welcome back. So, friend, we were looking for a guide to lead us on our quest for For the loom of horrors.
Oh, well, I can do that. Anything that get gets me away from this area is great. I would love to take you. So I really we'll smash cut so that we can get directly to the loom of horrors, and you will find yourself quickly at a hill that really stands out in the desert because it seems to be as if there's a structure inside of it. Is there not? There's some like brush here, there, and everywhere around it. And then the Arye will say that that's where people go and often don't come back. I hear that it's because they have such a great time. They never want to leave.
Uh-huh.
I told you.
Uh-huh.
Maybe. But most likely that they die. I don't know. I this is as far as I will go.
Well, thank you for your services.
So you find yourselves rather here at the mound. Which area will you check? There is north, south, east, and west.
Can we see a door?
You can. It's only once you get close enough and you start searching around that you do find a door on the north, east, and west side.
So there's 4 doors.
3.
3 doors.
Yes.
North, east, and west. Yes.
Yes.
Aha.
Well, are any among you of the roguish persuasion?
No.
Sure.
Yes.
I'm a barber.
Yes.
I have great many talents that cannot be. Maybe.
Then which
I'll go,
door
like-
should we use?
Listen to the door. Is there anything that I can hear through it? Is it metal? Is it wood? Is it stone?
So what you actually find is more of an entryway, and it seems as if now that you're closer that some of the like underbrush that you thought was there is actually hair, and if you were so bold as to part it, that there is a passageway beyond.
So yeah, you just see the snaking white and dark black, almost inky fingers go through the hair and part it and look. Dinner.
Perfect. Okay, so where did you go? East,
North.
west? Okay, north.
Always.
Always
Perfect.
due north.
Both heaven and Canada. North.
What?
Perfect segue. And you find that before you is a brilliant passageway, and as you look down, there seems to be this mosaic, as if these interweaving locks of hair are going back and forth throughout, every color that you could imagine, some that you feel like you can't even imagine. And there's a passageway of this like dark auburn hair that runs the length of this hallway. It's completely plaster walls along the side, full of murals and crazy depictions of different things. And just to make it more fun, everyone, what is one thing that stands out in these murals to you? I am terrified to ask Katie this question, but I will start there.
Oh God, why is it always me first? I
Well, we
do
don't
the
have to
worst
start there.
things when
I'm
I'm
just
first.
so scared of your answer that I kind of wanted to start there. We don't have to.
No. I'm going to go opposite. I'm going to say that I notice a lot of like breeds of dogs, like Pekingese or something, that just have tons and tons of hair, seeming to be on like pedestals and stuff like that.
Perfect. Cinder, what stands out to you?
That several of these mosaics have gold thread run through them over what looks to be depictions of Haribo. Haribo with these little threads of gold actually stuck into the stone and plaster that like have texture when you touch them.
Perfect. Arturo.
It's the hair, the patterns become more regular, and it forms into there's the shape of a chair, and there are a collection of smaller figures that are all sort of kneeling in front of it, carrying implements of hair cutting over their heads, on their knees before this giant chair, and there are red and white patterns that alternate in a spiraling fashion above the chair.
So good. Vandra.
When you stare at the swirling red and white patterns above the chair, you swear you catch a glimpse of eyes that bat long eyelashes at you.
No. Why'd you do it?
Eyelashes made of worms. No,
I wasn't gonna say it.
okay.
Ew, they would just flop down and touch your eyeballs.
No, they
Ugh.
would reach inside your pupil.
Why? Why are you doing this with your words?
Hecuba. Please, Hecuba.
Wow. Yeah, so I think Hecuba is, as she's drifting in, she's like touching this hair, and it is just the most luxurious, thick, like beautiful, rich hair. And I think this kind of frames all the portraitry in here. So whatever like has grown this hair, it smells amazing. It's incredibly well conditioned. It's just some remarkable hair that is growing out of the walls and framing all this here.
I love it.
I'm stroking it lovingly. Already so excited to take my 60% cut.
Hey, it's funnier that you say cut.
Yeah.
So with the hair parted, it feels like it kind of stays where it is, and there's a lot of light coming in. You're in the desert, it's daytime, things like that. Let's see.
Also, just for note, I am drow. So up until we get inside, I'm fucking miserable.
Oh yeah, in the heat and the sun.
Yes.
Even with the hat, even with the scarf like over the eyes, looking through it, just a hissing mess. But when we get actually inside, my vision is immaculate.
And you feel somewhat comforted by like almost a cool breeze. Like it's not unnaturally cool, but at least feels like the AC is on. So you notice as you're drawn towards these pictures of these dogs that actually there are two jackal-headed kind of humanoid figures that are painted into this mural, but now that you get a different angle because you're drawn to it, you can actually see that the bronze chest that they're holding is actually sticking out from the wall. So there's that. I will leave you with that. Also, you all, like I said, could follow along this path, just walk wherever you want. And you notice that quite a ways down, there may be some other things at the end of this hallway.
Yeah, we've seeing this chest protruding. They're gonna be like, do you all see this over here? There could be sparklies inside. Maybe, oh my god, a rhinestone kit. And they're gonna like go over towards it with their creepy ass hair fingers.
Like the tips of paintbrushes where they're all pointy at the end.
That's how they apply their makeup. Which is just wonky eyelashes.
Cinder taps this cane against the hair softly and then swirls it, like spins it in the air and catches it and says, I heard a story about this once. Touched nothing but the lamp sort of thing. Should we? But we maybe do it. She points at you and does a finger crossbow.
That's all I need. And they're gonna just like take their paintbrush fingers and like delicately pinkies up, try to open this bronze chest thing.
So you start to try and open it up, and you notice that for some reason that won't work. But what you do notice is that there is actually a catch on the top of it, and you pretty easily notice that there's also a poison needle trap. So you pretty confident you wouldn't want to touch it yourself. But if you were to use this catch, it would drop the lid into the box, and then the box would be open.
Let me get that for you, dear.
Oh, if you would be so kind.
Cinder turns their hand and makes a gripping motion, and a hand appears in the sky just right in front of them, their mage hand. And Cinder will try to flip the clasp with the mage hand and just let the needle hit it.
Yep. So as soon as you do that, basically it will jet forward a couple inches, and classic. You can just see a little bit of poison drip off of the needle, and the lid will fall in, and now it is open.
What's inside?
You notice that there is just
Rhinestones?
a
No.
yeah.
Worms!
Please, God, let it be rhinestones.
You see a rhinestone encrusted lever inside of the chest.
I immediately pull it.
All right.
Oh boy, we're gonna die.
I'm such a fan. Okay.
We're here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah.
True.
I
story.
think this can kill us in an hour. How do you all feel about it?
This is the worst party to do anything that's even remotely like Doom before.
So it seems as if there is no way from which you could not have this happen to you, but immediately beneath you, a counterweighted trapdoor falls open, and you fall 10 feet onto some spikes.
Ooh.
Ow! Ow!
So
You fool!
you'll take falling damage and the spikes, and they are also poisoned. So please give me a DC 15 Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, that's 18.
Okay. So
Yeah, 17 for me.
or half as much on a successful one. Okay.
All I was gonna say is that everybody.
Oh.
Or
No. It's just
okay.
it's just weave.
Okay.
so
Okay. I was like,
falling and falling.
ah.
Yep, it's just right there in that one square. Well, technically, square is like 10 feet, but whatever. It's really confusing. So you will take 11 points of poison damage because you saved, and 11 points of falling damage from the spikes.
I'm actually, as I'm falling, I'm gonna use my cloak to soften the blow.
Okay.
And so Weave has this cloak made of rainbow hair that just like billows out around them, and they just very slowly, you can see through like their hair body, just like these spikes go through them, and they're just like, oh, I've been impaled. Anybody? It's just these sticks just like through like openings of hair in their torso.
Except for the one that would have pierced your head, but that the hairspray is strong, and you just see one of the spikes bend over.
It's her Botox.
Holding their askew ringleader hat, Cinder peeks down at you. Oh dear.
The rhinestones have failed me for the first time.
I'll throw down a
Anybody?
rope unless someone else is doing something.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, go ahead.
Yeah. I lower down a silk rope. I went for the good stuff, paid extra.
Nice.
Ooh.
Nice. Good.
Yeah, so they're gonna go ahead and like hold on to it, and you just see like very slowly the spikes just like go back through their body, and everything just like closes up, and they're like, that was uncomfortable, and I'm never doing it again. If anybody sees rhinestones, just push me in the other direction. I can't resist.
Here, allow me to assist you, and I will cast a second level Cure Wounds upon you.
Perhaps we need a better strategy
Sorry, 15.
Ooh,
for
these
these
are good at cure wounds.
these hallways. Perhaps I can summon some creatures that might be able to help us. and I begin to speak in a language that I don't think anybody recognizes, as I call the dark powers and summon 8 baboons to my side. Ah, yes. Night
Infernal
sisters,
baboons?
come to me. Come to me. I begin to spin around, and baboons begin
Tell
to
me that they're
appear.
jumping in a circle.
Yes. So I've summoned 8 baboons that will be with us for 1 hour.
There's an instant where Hecuba just disappears into this ring of, yes, thank you, Paul, for mentioning infernal baboons.
Infernal baboons.
It's just like flames lick just out of their eyes, and they just
Yes.
encircle her, and then they are at your command.
Thank you, Coven.
We could make a wonderful show of this.
Perhaps we can send them ahead whenever there is a curious hallway or box to open.
Oh, yes, please send them now.
Yeah.
They stink. Get them down the hallway.
So, yes, I shall send one baboon to always be walking in front of us,
Okay.
about 30 feet or so, and the rest shall circle and dance around me.
Occasionally,
by this.
Cinder cartwheels.
Hey, I mean,
This seems like such a cool act, and Cinder wants to be a part of it.
Twitter wanted me to play a druid. I
This
know
is-
no other way.
This is so glorious. Okay, so what we'll do is everyone give me a quick perception check, and then we will be using that to see how many baboons are lost.
Natural 20.
Yeah.
9 or 21.
I got a lot.
20.
22.
21.
Damn.
We lose no baboons because as a collective unit, you have all decided to notice the pit after someone gets dropped into it. Like, maybe we should check for pits. So by some grace of the baboon god, they all get to the end of the tunnel, and you find 2 different things.
The Dark Baboon Lord, yes.
Yes, you
The
find
Demogorgon?
no, but instead you find a twist on the classic demon's head mosaic. At the very end of this tunnel is this, well, no, let's be honest, it looks like a giant demon baboon, and there's just this wild hair that feels as if it's just moving, but it can't be, but is it? And deep within its mouth is this inky blackness that goes beyond darkness. And if you're walking down to the left is also an archway with this mist coming from it, and you can smell hairspray as you get closer. So it is like, come to, yes, you just like a moth to a flame. Immediately goes in.
If I walked in the flame, I would
Yes.
be dead as fuck.
Yeah. So so the 2 things you have before you is the demon baboon head with the blackness in its mouth, and the archway with hairspray falling in front of it.
Which way, friends?
You know my vote.
Yeah, I'm going to send one of the baboons. I'm going to whistle and send it through the archway.
All right. And first off, great. That sounds fantastic. And as they get close, right before they go through, you can notice that there are some keystones that protrude out, and as it kind of gets close enough to touch the mist, the left hand stone begins to glow yellow, the right hand stone begins to be orange, and the keystone at the top is blue. And they disappear. You can't see to the other side.
I'm going to psychically command it to return.
A contextual question that will give you meta knowledge. How far does that work?
Let me double check.
And is it a 2-way street?
Actually, I guess if I can't see it anymore, I can't talk to it anymore.
You feel as if you cannot talk to it anymore.
No. My favorite baboon.
What did you name your favorite baboon?
Gregory.
Gregory. Poor Gregory.
It's
A
like
degree of
his name was
refinement.
Lucifer, but all right.
You can't prove that.
Well, all right.
You got me there.
I feel like Lucifer, I mean Gregory, would have returned if they were able. There are no
So
other
I-
ways to go, though.
Let's see. Who had the 22 on the perception?
Katie got a natural 20.
I got a nat 20.
That's right. So as I got so focused. Sorry, the baboons really threw me. They were a heavy
Why?
focus in my mind.
Everyone is thrown by the baboon.
Yes. So you do notice on the other side that as you're somewhat distracted by the murals, kind of watching as you go along, and you notice that there seems to be a doorway in the mural. Right?
Mm.
You're pretty confident that there's more going on.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I direct your attention to this doorway over here? I'd like to go inspect it if I could.
I don't see a doorway.
God.
It's 3 in a row.
Everything you touch.
I actually got another natural 20 for investigation.
Had Gregory
Nope.
only been with you still. Okay, let's see.
This has never happened. I have 2 20s just staring at me.
So as you're kind of feeling around in the mural, you note nothing. You note nothing at all that seems to be wrong with kind of this plaster wall, but you knock on it and you note that almost imperceptibly there's got to be something behind it. That you just had this innate feeling that there's a doorway behind this doorway, but the only way through is by sheer power.
Yeah, so they'll just like sashay away from the door and be like, Arturo, you ever
Yes.
punched a wall before?
I have
could use
punched.
those fists of yours.
Very good. I have punched many things, many times. This wall will meet its match. And yeah, he's gonna like dramatically charge towards the wall, but then stop right in front of it, and then do like a 1-inch punch, like right into the center of the wall.
Oh, that's awesome. And making sure. Yep. You are able to basically punch through this false wall to find a extremely mundane door on the other side. Like the one on the mural was elaborate, just all of this hair, all of these amazing things, and the other one is pretty much like a $5 door on the other side.
I knew it. Constructs intuition. Now,
Excellent. Well,
So we've
let's
got
see what's behind this door. And yeah, without a second thought, he's just gonna go turn that handle.
Oh,
okay.
This is what the baboons are for.
Oh, right.
I even summoned something with thumbs. How dare you? Well, if you would like to use a baboon, about 20 feet down in this hallway is another door.
Yes. I think my my baboon Damien will run forward to
Naturally.
open up this door.
they're no Gregory, but I guess Damien will do.
Gregory had the nicest laugh.
Yep.
I don't even know what to do. So who's right behind Damien as the door is opened?
Probably not me. I think I'd be as far back as
Arturo.
I can go.
Probably. Yeah, it would probably be Arturo.
Okay, so you see for a moment what almost appears to be this statuesque figure. It's very large. It has 4 arms, and it appears as if, again, it's a statue made completely of beards. And the second that the door opens, it comes to life, and that you have entered the lair of the beard golem.
No.
This was so fun to draw.
Yes. And so this is a mutated version with 4 arms, and it is going to, I don't even know what I mean, I know what it sounds like when a bunch of wind goes through my beard, but that's not really contextual for anyone else. Yeah, and it really makes sense to me, and no, in very few other
I'm
people.
afraid I do not know what that
Yes.
feels or sounds like.
Some beard wind
I'm
ASMR.
with you, Neil. I'm with you.
Yes. So it lets out this primal roar, and then we will quickly head to initiative.
Mhm.
And I will pull up the stats for the beard golem, which you can find in the Ultimate Guide to Hair on Kickstarter now. Go back, please.
I'm posting the link. Please check it out.
An unnatural 20 for Fandra.
Oh, right.
Unnatural 20 as well. What's your dex, Fandra?
18.
Same here.
Well, you may go first.
Okay. Excellent.
Since you're right there.
I got a 7.
Paul, that voice you do reminds me so much of the SpongeBob, like Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episodes that I can't
Oh
handle
my
it.
god.
You're welcome.
That's exactly what I think of every time you speak. I got a 10. Hecuba got a 10.
Okay,
And
is someone,
oh,
is someone between 10 and 20?
15 for Cinder.
Then what did Weave get? Sorry.
Oh, I got 7.
Okay.
I guess all my baboons would go on their own turn, but I'm just gonna have them all like hang out because my devil baboons are more important alive than beating up a beard golem.
Just freaking
They're all
out as
shrieking in the
spectators.
background. A hellish cheer for you all.
Worst cheerleading squad ever.
No.
Their little pom poms.
Oh my gosh. Arturo, you are up first.
Pom poms made of hair.
Okay. Arturo will charge towards this thing, but then cut off at an angle and do an unnecessary commando roll across the ground. And when he comes up on his knee, he'll be wielding a can of hairspray, of prismatic hairspray.
Yeah.
And give it a few quick shakes. And then blast this thing. And out from the can of prismatic hairspray will emanate this bright red, almost like day glow magenta gout of fire.
Nice.
I like it. So what, other than being terrified, what will the beard golem need to do?
It will need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oof.
As it 15-foot cone of fire damage.
Okay. What's the DC on that?
The DC is That is a good question. It is a 14.
Okay, it just makes it, so I assume it will take half.
Correct.
Okay.
And that's going to be 10, so 5 damage. 5
Okay.
fire.
Awesome. You see as these wisps of smoke come up, and the stench of burnt hair starts to fill the room. And Fandra, you are up. So also for context, there's easily space to kind of do anything that you want. The hallways themselves are 10 feet wide. The room itself is probably about like 80 feet by 60 feet. So you have all the space you might need.
Yeah. So hearing Arturo, to start to do combat with this thing of whatever is inside this room, she runs down this hallway and runs in after him. And you see she unsheathes both of her scimitars and raises them up, and all of her snake hairs start hissing and really loudly in unison. And suddenly, this large spectral guardian that appears like a Medusa appears and hovers over towards the beard golem. And as she casts Guardian of Faith, any creature that is hostile to me that moves into the space within 10 feet of it for the first time a turn must succeed a dexterity saving throw. So, yeah, when it gets back to its turn.
Okay.
And then she'll use her bonus action to shwa and attack it with her offhand for 16.
To hit, right?
Yes.
Yes, that hits.
Nice. 6 damage.
For it is a large construct. Many beards. Many beards.
Many beards, and that is her turn.
Okay. Cinder, you're up.
Oh God, my turn came so fast. Oh man. So did I get the impression that fire did more to this creature or the same as it would anything else that exists?
You felt that it was about the same.
Okay. So instead, Cinder will get within 60 feet, probably near the back, standing next to Hecuba. And they will produce from inside their jacket this small black ocarina. And they'll do a little play on it. And when they do, right in front of Fandra's face appears this square of moving neon color as I cast Fairy Fire on this golem. And it needs to make a dexterity saving throw, please. DC 17.
That's a definite no. A 7.
Concentration.
And I'm rolling that at advantage.
Concentration up to 1 minute. It sheds dim light, and all of my companions have advantage on attack rolls against it.
Very nice.
I will then say, go get him, and thwap someone on the buttock, whoever's nearby.
Damien.
The butt is right there.
It's speaking of multicolored lights.
As my item interaction, I open a locket, and inside has a photo of Gregory, and I touch it. And I close it. We shared a great 8 seconds together. I'll never forget.
Hecuba, fear not, I can make in the perfect image doll.
Whoa. I need only call my sisters to summon him once again.
Oh. I don't know what to do. Well, never mind. Speaking of Hecuba, you're up.
Right. Well, I don't want to drop concentration, so all of our wonderful baboons can be here. So I will go ahead and Hecuba will, whisper to the darkness, and in both of her hands is conjured these fistfuls of flame that she'll hurl towards this creature. So, making some ranged spell attacks with advantage. Thank you. Will a 17 hit?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that is going to be... No, only 2d8. That's okay. That's okay. Hey, did you know that all druid spells are concentration?
Neil,
14.
I am an idiot.
Oh.
I was just going to say I'm an idiot and a terrible bard. Could I have given someone Bardic Inspiration as my bonus action on that turn?
Oh, I thought that was the pat on the butt.
Yes, but then there was no follow-up of the mechanic. I also thought of that and then just moved on, but realized, yes.
Well, that's what I was going to do, was I was going to
So-
pat Arturo on the butt and say that was my Bardic Inspiration, but I thought it was an action. It is a bonus action. I
Yeah.
had to double check.
Okay. Yeah,
Arturo,
totally.
you have a D10 Inspiration die. 14 damage from Hecuba, sorry.
Okay.
14 fire damage.
Just so that we can hear the voice. So what does Arturo say, feeling inspired?
Oh, haha! Time for a shave. And he drops the can and then pulls the scissors out and separate into the swords.
Oh, so good, so anime. And a full turn. Nothing can happen without a full turn.
No.
Weave, you're up.
Yeah, Weave is gonna kind of like find a clear path, like break through the people. And they're just going to just do a death drop, and then from their belt, a lightning bolt is just gonna like shoot this golem in the face. They're gonna have to make a dexterity saving throw.
DC.
16, sorry.
Okay, so if I match it,
Then
So I
you
got 16.
pass. Okay, so you're going to take 13 points lightning damage. And then I'm going to use half my speed to get back up from my death drop.
Nice.
And then kind of walk so that I'm as far out of the way of this giant hulking thing as possible.
Awesome. Also, I love the idea that you've just shot this, that you float in this death drop and this lightning bolt hits the beard golem. And there's this moment where it feels like it gets bigger, but you realize it's just static. And then it kind of drops back into its normal size. And that will be its turn. Fandra, what kind of weapons you using? You said scimitar.
Yeah, she's dual wielding scimitars.
Okay, so kind of as a free action, basically, it's transforming its out of its hair into its hand a scimitar-looking blade made completely of beards, a bearditar. No, that sounds like a minotaur. Nah, can't do it. I'm out. So it's a scimitar made of beards, and it will try and attack you since you are
A Cimibeard.
you are close. But before I forget, and because it popped into my head, is it the end of my turn or the start of my turn?
The start of your turn.
That's what I thought.
So it must make a dexterity saving throw, DC 16.
All right. Okay, I got a 19. Do I still take half, I assume?
Yes, it takes 10.
Oof.
10 radiant damage.
The idea of a golem wielding a razor sharp mustache is pretty hilarious.
Yes. That's so good. And let's see, we'll attack. So they can do 2 attacks, and it's somewhere. I named everything dumb stuff. Beard weapon. Okay, so does a 21 hit you?
Yes,
Okay. And then a 10 would not.
correct.
And it will do 13 slashing damage.
Ouch.
Okay. And that will be its turn. After making its 2 attacks, and we will be back to Arturo.
Back to Arturo. Very good. With his short swords out, he's gonna charge in and start hacking at this thing's at its side. So first attack. Oh, and advantage, right? We still got that? Cool.
Fairy fire.
And what can I add my bardic inspiration die again? Is it
To a saving throw, an ability check, or an attack roll, not your damage.
okay? I'll save that right now.
Wise.
So one of those is a 16 to hit, or a 21 to hit. Sorry.
Yeah.
Cool.
They are a mere 14, for they are large and just kind of hair. So
Nice. So it'll be 7 magical damage from my first attack.
7. Okay.
And then second attack. That will be a 15. So that'll go. That'll be 7 more damage. And then we'll burn a key point and flurry of blows. And then I can do this once per turn. Ooh, okay. Whenever I make a melee attack. All right, and then I'm gonna use one of my Way of the Wild Hair abilities. off
Tell
your
us
feet.
more.
What's that?
I said, tell us more.
Oh yes. So off your feet. So as Arturo is sliding in and making these cutting attacks at the hair golem's torso, his goatee and mustache grows longer and twists around the golem's ankle, and then he makes a quick spin and tugs at his chin, trying to jerk the golem off its feet.
I love it. I assume I will make a save.
Yeah, it'll be a strength save, I believe. And
Ooh,
the DC
it's
is
unlikely.
16.
Yep, I fail.
Sweet. So it will be knocked prone. And that'll be 5 damage.
Awesome. So you see, like you said, as you're sliding through, it's almost as if it just stops in motion, and it's like it just stretches and stays where it was as your mustache and beard wrap around the ankles and flip the beard golem onto its back. And just of course, the funniest thing about this whole thing is that there's not a lot of sound. Like, as large as the creature is, at the end of the day, it's just a whole bunch of beard. So it's kind of like you're expecting more, like feeling the vibration. It's just kind of and there's nothing. Although what we will do is we will smash cut to one Gregory who finds themselves
Gregory.
inside
/
the
Lucifer.
/ Lucifer. Gregifer. Lucery? Okay, but they find themselves contained in a small room, and there are 3 levers. The levers can be pushed up, the levers can be pushed down. What does Gregory do?
Gregory / Lucifer will lift the lever on the left up.
Nothing happens.
Oh, the Hell Riders! They're coming from
Yes.
outside. Okay.
Give me an intelligence check, or just roll a d20 for me.
Okay, I was like, baboon intelligence? I got a 13. That's very Hecuba.
Okay. Gregory knows that the only way that something will happen is if at once all the levers are lifted up or all the levers are pushed down.
Can Gregory use one of his feet and do just a cool, like, I guess maybe he'll hang on all of them at the same time?
Okay. All 3 levers click down, and we smash cut away. Fandra, it's your turn.
What happened to Gregory, though?
You see electricity crackles between her fingertips, and she shoots it out Palpatine style at this beard golem as she casts Static Shock for her action.
Perfect. A great DC character and show if you haven't seen it.
That is a 22 to hit.
Oh my, yes.
And that'll be 7 electricity damage, and it can't take reactions until the start of its next turn.
Good. Poor
And then she's gonna
huge golem.
bonus action, smack it again. Ooh, that oh damn, almost a natural 20. That is a 27.
Okay, wow.
And 4 damage. As she slashes away at this bearded individual.
Let's see. Cinder, you're up.
All right. The golem is currently on its back, correct?
Yes. Wreathed in multicolored flame and cannot take reactions either, as this static shock just courses back and forth through its body. Again, you just see parts of it getting bigger and smaller as it passes through.
Cinder pulls out this small brass cone that you shout through over the crowd and says, "You sure are a lazy shit, aren't you?" And is going to do vicious mockery. Wisdom saving throw, Mr. Hair Golem.
I doubt it. 10. So
He takes 6 psychic damage and has disadvantage on his next attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn.
good lord.
As it's still lit prone, like grabbing its head, rolling on fire.
Yeah. Oh. And we will pan over to Hecuba, at which point you can see like a distant look in her eyes, like, what's happening to Gregory?
Yes.
And we will cut back. And as you hear the three levers click, the floor opens beneath Gregory into their final moments as they fall 100 feet deep and then slam into the ground at the bottom of the pit.
Pit traps.
I think Hecuba's turn, and she just like no, and she like slams back against a wall, overcome with the fear.
So you can take your turn. I mean, unless you want that to be your turn.
I
I'm okay
would like
with-
that to be my turn for
Okay.
for drama. Thank you. Please. I love it.
Weave. It is your turn. Also, a question for Weave. How do you feel about the fact that basically you have found and are destroying something that is like a sapient version of you rather than the sentient version of you? Because as the woven, you are like an entity made completely of hair, whereas this beard golem is similar but not.
Yeah, Weave is very into themselves and wants this thing to die because if this thing gets out, she's not going to be a commodity anymore. So she's got to keep that showbiz going.
Yes.
So yeah,
Yes, honey. We're good.
Respect the hustle.
I love it.
Yeah, they seem to have no remorse. They're like, in fact, they're just like heckling like all their team members to like get at this thing. Like, don't let that thing get through the door. But yeah, no, they're very bound and determined. What they're gonna do right now is they're gonna go ahead and point their pelvis and their big shiny belt buckle towards Arturo, and they're gonna be like, "Time for a tease, baby!" And she's gonna cast Enlarge on Arturo. And not only does Arturo grow in size, but he gets like a Marie Antoinette sized hair on top of his head. And you are now enlarged.
Send him the wig. Send the wig to Paul. We'll pick up next week.
I'll package it.
That's a
Wow.
hard pass from Paul, but
I'll put the enlarge in there for you, Paul.
that's so good. The poor golem, I think will
It's got to make a dexterity saving
yes.
throw.
so I got a yes, a 14.
That fails. You take 20 radiant damage as this bright Medusa being of light slashes you.
Ugh. This terrible thing. So if I get up from prone, I would take attacks of opportunity, I believe.
Not in fifth.
Oh gosh.
Mhm.
Okay, fine.
3.5 problem.
I don't know. I played too. Apparently, I've played a little bit much for too long. Fine. I just stand up willy nilly. Who cares?
Wow.
And, yeah.
Stand up for free. It's not a design problem. It's not a
Yeah.
flaw. Yeah.
And so I would say that the golem kind of just morphs back up into its original form again with the scimitar that looks like a giant mustache with a hilt, and they will again chop down at Fandra because
At disadvantage.
that's right.
Thank you, Arbonic friend.
Lazy shit. Lazy shit. It's like hearing the echo of the insult.
No.
I got a 19 on the first and only a 15 on the second.
15 still hits.
Oh, okay.
That is exactly my AC.
I accept. And we will roll for 10 slashing damage from the
Ouch.
first cut and 13 from the second cut.
Yeah.
and like the wounds are just like filled with hair as it just rips through your armor and skin, because that sounds
Nasty.
gross.
Mhm.
Some would say it even looks like worms. So-
No!
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Don't
Yes.
encourage them, Neil. Don't
Yes.
encourage them.
Goals.
Don't
Since
feed
I
into the
joined-
madness.
You all have been relentless with your bugs and your worms.
Yeah, it's been a lot. Lately, it's been a lot.
It's been a lot.
and the turn goes to you, Lodge Arturo.
Very good. From up here, I can clearly see you are no threat, fiend. And with that, he's gonna rain down a couple of slashes with these now gigantic short scissor swords. Natural 20.
Hell yeah.
The first
Pew, pew,
one.
pew, pew.
Oh boy. All right, so that's gonna be 2d6s and then 2d4s. So 6, 9, 12, 22
Oh, that's nasty.
magic damage from that first, and that's the first attack. Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Monks.
Monks, monking it up.
Let's see.
That's gonna be a 25 to hit on the second attack.
Yeah, that'll do it every time.
Oh yeah.
Every time.
That'll be 12 damage.
Okay,
And then
you see a full beard just fall off. No, keep going.
and then we're gonna burn another key point so we can do the flurry of blows. So we can get a couple more attacks in. But here he stows one of the swords in his hand and then pulls out the straight razor from his hair and then proceeds to like headbang twice and whip his hair down onto this hair golem.
That is awesome.
Okay.
Holy shit.
20.
That's a flex.
Mm-hmm. Ki! That'll be 7 damage. And then 14 was the AC, right?
Yes.
Sweet. 14. And then another 12 damage.
So, dear Arturo, how do you finish off this beard golem?
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, he slams his head down twice and his hair whips down, and it's like you can hear the wind being cut by the snapping of his hair into this thing, and then his hair whips back up again, and he spins in place, and the hair sort of piles up on his head, and he tucks the folded up straight razor back into it, and then proceeds to pull out a tiny, what would have been a small broom out of his waistband, and then start sweeping up the hair into a pile in the middle of
I
it.
get 60. Cut that up. Cut that up.
It is all for you, Hecuba.
Marvelous.
So you see like kind of they're almost eyes, and like the camera pans in, and there's this black as the life fades, and then as it pans back out, you also see that the same is true of Gregory.
Cinder has like clutched their chest and curled over in pain as though punched in the stomach.
There is only one thing to do. Go, Crowley, avenge him. So I'm going to send Crowley, the next baboon, going to go through that same mist portal, and I would like Crowley to lift up all 3 levers this time.
Okay. So Crowley, yes, again finds themselves in this box. There's a moment where Crowley is just beside themselves, like this is not where they want to be,
No.
and they lift up all of the levers, and above them opens a trap door, and they can climb up 10 feet.
Crowley will do so.
There appears to be no exit. Give me an intelligence check for Crowley.
Okay.
Just roll a d20 and
All
let's see
right,
what
yeah,
happens.
because baboon intel.
It's like a -6.
Okay. 15.
Crowley is just kind of loses it for more than a moment, several moments, but as they start to calm down, they'll notice that as they hit one side, that the it rings hollow, and they're able to figure out how to open a doorway. And we'll leave it there for a moment, because Weave, you have an eye. You have an eye for things that are encrusted. And as you see Arturo start to dust up the hair, you notice that the beard golem was actually wearing an encrusted collar.
They go with their paintbrush fingers and
Oh, what is these?
pluck it out.
And you find that it is studded with 10 gleaming gems, blue quartz stones, and they're worth about 100 gold pieces each.
Wow.
Damn.
They're just like, I'll hold on to this for now. And they put it on, and from the pile that they pulled it from, they're like, good riddance, you crusty bitch. And kind of like kick it towards. Thank you, Bob.
You crusty bitch, get out of here.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
God.
That's
you'll
great.
you'll notice as you start to clasp it on that there's actually a secret compartment hidden within the collar, and a slip of parchment will fall out, but it is written in a magical code.
Oh, this is not my cup of tea. Anyone? And I'll like look at it, and I'll kind of like hold it out so that everybody can look at it with me.
Yeah, can the arcane of us pull together and try and
Yeah,
decipher
give me
this? Yeah.
Give me an arcana.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll cast detect magic and check it out.
Can I help
24.
Cinder? Yeah. Ooh, can I? Yeah, I would.
Yep. Did you? So if you wanted to help, Cinder, you could roll at advantage.
Yeah, I mean, Bard, you might get
Yep.
400.
24.
Okay.
I rolled a 19, so there's only
nice.
one
Okay.
step up.
So it takes a little while, but you note that it says look high and look low and high for gold to hear a tale untold. Take the archway at the end, and your way will wind.
One more time.
WEND, like it'll go different ways.
Interesting.
Low and high, gold, archway at the end. It seems that Gregory's sacrifice wasn't in vain.
Perhaps. Are there any other exits out of this little chamber where the beard golem was, or are we looking at?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
There is a door kind of on the opposite side of the room. Like you came in one side, and it's down in the opposite side of the room.
I'm just gonna send Giuseppe to open that up real quick. Thank you, chat, for all of these baboon names. You are the best. So Giuseppe the baboon will go and just open this door.
I don't know what to do with you. Thank you, chat.
I'm sorry. I think this is probably the best use of conjure animals that has ever happened. So I don't know.
Correct. So you'll find a passageway that will kind of wind back and forth, and it will eventually lead into an opening. And in this opening, you find yourself scrolling.
Yeah.
You find yourself in a chapel, and you see what is obviously some sort of temple area, and there's again these just wild depictions of just all kinds of things, all involving hair, things that you could find at the Ultimate Guide to Hair. right now on Kickstarter. But oh my gosh. So I'm trying to repurpose the Tomb of Horrors, but part of it just says, and I was looking through and just skimming it, and of course, for Sage it says worms eating them and so forth. So that's not happening, but it's just in there, and I had to talk about it. But you see these various religious symbols all throughout these mosaics and everything like that, and there's this path leading up with 4 rows of wooden pews, and in front of the pews is a wooden railing that divides the room, and there is an altar, and on the altar, made of what appears to be bones of some sort and just this hair woven in it, and you're pretty confident before you stands none other than the Loom of Horrors.
Well,
Accursed machine! It's here!
So
yes.
who in the party is carrying the Wig of Power?
Arturo would go to grab it first, and if nobody stopped him, he would have tucked it into his bag.
Uh-oh.
The least likely to succumb to some type of power like that might be the monk. So yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Okay.
Who needs wigs when you have hair like this? It ain't me.
True.
Hecuba strokes her hair and is like, yes.
Social
Ew.
distancing 10 feet.
So go ahead, Arturo, give me a wisdom save. Not a wisdom save, just a wisdom check. My bad.
Can I still use that inspiration?
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to use
Lasts
that.
for 10 minutes.
Sweet. Oh, and I got a 10 on that. So that's a whole bunch. 22 plus some other stuff because I'm a monk. Yeah. 25, 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow.
That was
so you-
exactly what you needed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right on, right on,
Infinity.
yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
she-
okay, cool.
Whoa.
That's what I have written down.
Neat.
Infinity. So perfect. You do feel that as if both drawn to and from the Wig of Power and the Loom, as if they want to be connected once again. But you definitely feel the essence of evil from the Loom, and that the Wig is completely neutral. That again, it could go either direction, good or ill. So you have that in front of you. You have, like I said, the pews, the wooden railing, and the Loom itself.
What
Well,
did you all intend to do with the wig once you've reached the Loom?
This cursed item must be destroyed.
But
It could
perhaps
corrupt far too many people and give them the guise, the thought that they appear awesome. But they would not be. They would be so woefully inadequate.
But imagine it, Arturo. You could be known as the best barber in the world if even a case that you couldn't fix if you used that wig. Perhaps there is potential there.
We just met today, Hecuba, so I will forgive you, but I'm already the best barber in the world. And now it's time to take care of this mop top. And he's going to stride down the aisle towards the Loom.
Okay.
All my baboons and I are chittering in the corner.
Okay, so right
I
when
don't
you,
like the baboons, for the record.
What?
right when you step onto the altar that is connected to the Loom.
Spikes!
Bye-bye.
I swear to God, if I was running this, I'd just put fucking spike pits everywhere. Every
5
time you
feet.
touch something,
Every 5
spike.
feet.
You pull the levers down, spikes. You pull the levers up, spikes.
Bigger spikes.
Good sir, give me a dexterity saving throw.
a good thing I'm pretty good at those. Oh, but not when I roll that crap.
Oh.
That will still be a 9, a 13. Yeah, 13.
Okay, that's not gonna cut it.
Oh
as
no!
This like crackling blue energy wraps around and comes forth from the loom, and you will take 30 points of damage from this lightning bolt.
Holy shit.
You take
Oh,
half
my
of it, right?
insides!
Ugh.
Do you take
Get-
half of that because monks evasion?
Ooh, do I take half of that? Wait. when
No,
you
if you-
subject
Yeah, so-
it to an
What?
effect.
It was
So-
a dex save.
Yeah, so
No. It's it is only half. Okay.
yeah,
cool.
so you either take half or none
Okay.
with evasion.
Freaking
So-
monks.
15.
You
I
and
keep
your
reminding
baboons
people of
all
that because I
say,
want it
"Good
so
monks."
bad.
So you'll notice that the light kind of around the altar switches into this like fiery blue red. Give me a give me a Constitution check. Right,
I'm not so good at those.
Okay.
Oh,
And
no.
I rolled a natural 1. So yeah.
So as this lightning bolt just rips through your body, part of your evasion is that you let go of the altar and take this giant rolling leap back, and your hair is just out on end, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. It looks, exactly like all of the pictures from the 80s science books with the kids on with their heads
Yes!
on the thing and all the hair sticking straight up. But yeah, it's this like marvelous rainbow that kind of like sticks out, wafts and waves as he twitches from lightning.
Ooh, honey, that's not a good look.
I'll work on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So what will you do? What will you try and do now that you're pretty confident something else bad will happen? I mean, let's be honest with each other. Do you also notice right as you're flying backwards, you're like, I do wonder what happened to Gregory. Did I leave the oven on? And you'll note that there's another mist-filled archway off to the right with a skeleton in front of it. And then you'll fall back, riddled with lightning.
A skeleton of a baboon?
No.
Okay, just another skeleton. Okay, I
Yes.
was just checking.
What a perfect time. It is not the skeleton of a baboon. And we cut back. And Giuseppe's been climbing.
Yes.
Giuseppe's been slowly, blindly going through this passageway. And they've gone quite a ways. And then they from the side, they enter into a spike pit. Everyone give me a perception check.
Oh my god.
17.
13.
3.
16.
16.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me another, roll it again as if it were advantage.
Okay.
Same.
Natural 20.
19.
19.
Okay. Give me another baboon name.
Okay. Then we have come to Steve.
Steve perks up. And Steve, it's a telepathic link?
Well, they're all sort of from the same place, so I feel like they can all talk to each.
Okay.
It's up to you. If we really want to get crunchy, I probably shouldn't have any awareness of what's happening with all these creatures.
No. Okay, that's garbage. We don't like that at all. I rescind my question, and as if it had never been asked. And it's just like you hear in your mind, Giuseppe, and Steve kind of looks like, can I go?
Yes, go to your brother.
Okay, and Steve will scamper off right back out the doorway that was the layer of the beard column, and then you kind of hear, you faintly hear just like, and slam, and then slam, as if all the pit traps in the original hallway are being opened. And it takes a while, but eventually both Giuseppe and Steve return holding a rope.
A rope?
Hmm.
What the hell?
Is it the same rope we used before, or is it's just a new?
No, it's a new rope. It's like it's kind of gross. It looks as if someone had fashioned a rope out of hair, because at the bottom, Giuseppe had found the rope of hair. And it's a 30-foot length of rope that is made completely of hair. It can hold up to 2,000 pounds, and with your mind, you can make it do whatever you want. And that is how Giuseppe and Steve have returned to you.
Hell yeah! Ah, praise be the Dark Lord. As I take this rope, you have done well, my minions.
So we're past the 8 o'clock mark. I'm good to definitely go a little bit more. So the question I will ask is, what will we do at the loom?
I don't want to get shocked again, but I do. We still must destroy this cursed object.
Can I see? I want to make a check. Like, is this powered by anything? Like, is there a spell on the loom itself, or maybe like dispelling some of the runes in this room might have an effect, or like, what do I think is going on here?
Okay.
We should unplug it first. Yes.
Yeah, like what's the plug situation? What powers this?
Okay, everyone can give me an Arcana check.
You.
Oof, I'm not good at those.
I'll minus
Paul,
to that. Yes.
Cinder will come over and hum a lullaby that is Russian, Russian in origin, and you will regain 16 hit points as I cast a level 3 Cure Wounds on you.
Woot.
I got a 19 on my Arcana.
Okay.
I surprisingly got a 16, which is
Um,
really good for me.
Fandra, can you actually do me a religion check?
Oh, sure.
I mean, we're standing right in a chapel, basically.
I have 23 for religion or arcana, whichever.
Okay.
They're the same
Ooh.
score.
A 19 for religion.
Nice.
You
So
scared me in the beginning of this, JB, but you're doing good.
so Cinder and Fandra will start to pick out a lot of like the symbols that seem what was really off-putting was that they almost seemed like they were towards good deities, but the more you look at it, you see that they're actually twisted versions of that, and you start to feel that it's definitely a desecrated area here. And those of you, so you notice that with that and the combined arcana is that power is drawn from those that are sitting in the pews, that those people are like drawn forth and into the loom. And you note that if you were to use the dispel magic, you could probably stop the spell from happening, but you're pretty confident that the loom would still hold its power.
So dispel magic would help us use it.
Or counterspell, one of the two.
Well, if we are intent on this course of action, I suppose I can end this protection effect.
Thank you. That would be appreciated.
I could then hallow this ground to no longer be desecrated.
Well, if you think it'd be better that way, I guess.
Yes. The divine powers of awesomeness and fabulousness will aid us in destroying this cursed thing.
Okay, so for my dispel magic, I unsling my bag and then I start pulling out like little moppets woven of hair on strings, and I'm going to start tying them around the chapel and whispering and like lighting incense I got from somewhere as I'm going to Blair Witch this room and then dispel this this situation.
Cinder, while you're doing that,
The baboons are helping.
Oh yeah, totally. You're like,
Yeah.
no, stand here. Damn it, Steve. Giuseppe, get it together.
Cerberus?
Cinder-
Cerberus. No, give me that. Give me the lavender.
Cinder takes off their top hat and pulls out 4 daggers from it, and then puts the hat back on and begins to juggle while standing on one foot and singing, baby, 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 ooh, juggle, juggle, juggle. And is going to do a counter charm in case that comes up with messing with the loom. This gives everyone who can see and hear me advantage on wisdom saving throws against being frightened or charmed.
I
And it
honestly
lasts
thought
until I stop.
you were gonna give the daggers to the boo boo.
Yeah, if one of them can juggle, I'll juggle back and forth.
I think Pecunia could probably juggle. So
I've got 10 gold on Pecunia for sure.
I'm like on Pecunia's shoulders, juggling on their back, and they're like so small and tiny.
Perfect. So, Arturo, you were pretty confident that at the very least, that the effect of some sort of spell coming out of the altar and the loom is at least subdued at this time. So you can definitely go touch.
Oh, yeah.
The loom.
Then he will, stride forward slightly less confidently, but still overconfidently, back towards this, awful demonic machine.
Okay. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
That I have advantage on, right?
Yes.
Yeah. God damn it, dice.
oh no.
Yeah, that's gonna be a 12. I rolled a 2 and a 5. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone give me a perception check.
Fuck.
23?
17.
Okay.
17.
6.
Okay. So you see Arturo just fall into just this frenetic motion. Just it's as if Arturo has always known how to use a loom. Like it's weird. And you can see the wig of power just come apart inside of the loom. And then at the last moment, you see it form back together, and with the deftness of only a monk can have, Arturo puts it back on their head.
Oh no!
So first question, of course, is what does the wig of power that Arturo has decided to make, what does it look like?
Oh god. Okay. So it's this like shoulder length. It's parts of it are this golden divine light. And then other parts are this inky, like light absorbing, like Vanta black strands that almost pull the color out of the other parts of the wig. So at the same time, it's radiating and absorbing light all around it. And then as he pulls it on over his own hair, all of the color, the vibrant rainbow colors of his own hair get sucked and absorbed into this wig as the color drains out of it, and he pulls it onto his head, and it begins to sort of twist up in this spiraling unicorn-esque beehive type thing on the top of his head.
And you can just see this just like red and black just kind of just slowly falling out of Arturo's eyes, and stepping forth out of the mist is a just this not gaunt because it's just skeletal figure, and they're clad in this mismatched armor. It's every color, every make that you can think of, and there's just a giant mohawk coming out of their head. They're like, oh hey, thanks for bringing that back. And we'll end it there.
No!
Ah!
What did we do? Arturo, what did you do?
Ah!
Damn it, Arturo!
Why?
Paul, roll me a d10. I'm just so curious.
I got a 5.
All right, that's not that great. I was like, fuck, I forgot to give him bardic inspiration. I hope
Oh,
it's
no.
fine. And then you rolled like trash.
Oh, I rolled such garbage. I
Oh,
couldn't believe it. And then I
God.
rolled for that perception check and I had got a 15. It was like, oh, great. Yeah. No, it's only the rolls that I got advantage on that we're
It
going
was
to get.
fate. It was
Mhm.
destined to happen.
Gotta
Indeed.
tell you guys, the Midwesterner and me almost said, "You're welcome." What did you say?
Oh, hey.
Oh,
Thanks for bringing that
gosh.
back.
Yeah,
You're
no
welcome.
worries.
No problem.
Awesome. Well, that is all I have for now, but there's definitely more in the Loom of Horrors. And if we get to 200 backers, that is likely a bit of where we may go. But who knows? Because we have a social goal where we will do 12 hours of streaming. Hair insanity abound. So if you see fit, you could help us get there with just $1.
$1.
Yes. Yeah. So thank you
What?
everybody so much for stopping by. Yeah, we have 3 days, less than 3 days, to get this project as funded as it can possibly be. So I'm gonna go ahead and post one more time in the chat here. That link. So if you go to Kickstarter and look up the Ultimate Guide to Hair, you will also see that if you're listening on YouTube or Twitter. Yeah, please, we would love if you helped back this project. Again, it's over 60 pages of magic items, new subclasses for every single class, over 12 monsters because backers are adding new monsters as we go along. That's one of our tiers you can add. So please, if you have anything to spare, really check out this book. Even just $15 gets you a PDF. Again, over 60 pages, fully illustrated, awesome PDF.
By this awesome illustrator whose work is already
Oh,
inspired me to make
what?
better and cooler stuff.
Yes,
So,
Katie,
thank you,
right
Katie.
here. So if you're
No
a fan of
problem.
Venture Maidens, backing this product really helps a ton of us. Money goes right in our pockets, and you get something very, very cool. So thank you all so much for being here. I guess let's go around the table, though, and say who we are once again and where people can find us if they like our stuff. So I guess I'll start here and we'll go around same order. My name is Celeste Konowich. I was one of the lead designers for this book. You can follow me on Twitter at @ckonowich and see the entire catalog of things I publish and do at my website, celestekonowich.com.
Hi, I'm JB at Drop the Die on Twitter. I am taking sabbatical from Twitter and other social media right now, but I will return when I do not have 400 projects looming like the sword of Damocles over my head. I was playing Sindir tonight and it was so fun. I've checked out everything in this PDF and a lot of it is very interesting and very inspired, far more than a lot of things that I've been tasked to work on as of late. So I think that it's a very good investment if you get a kick out of any of this, sprinkling it into a normal campaign or a grimdark campaign
Yeah.
could be the best thing to ever happen to your table. So consider picking it up, all right?
Hi, I'm Katie. I am at lazy_mermaiden on Twitter. I do all the interior art for this project. It has been so fun. It has been so time consuming to do every little strand of hair on these drawings, but so fucking worth it because they're so cool. But yeah, I'm super excited to do all the monsters and everything else that everybody, all the backers who are contributing to that are doing, and for all the stretch goal stuff too. So very exciting.
Yes, and even the stuff that you do without hair is inspiring because that was the only way I got enough idea of what the deity of baldness. Fear not, if you have no hair at all, we still have you covered.
That is the
And
number one question I get asked
it
when
is.
interviewed about this book. Don't worry, bald men. There's representation here for you too.
And because we have two deities, we also went ahead and made sure that there were cleric domains as well as a paladin order for
Yeah,
each
so
of those deities.
14 subclasses.
And all my talking, and I should also say that I am the other lead designer on the product, and I am Neil, and you can find me on Twitter at Jotmaniac, Jack of all trades, master of none, IAC, and also throw out the idea that neither Celeste or I have our name because we went ahead and made an LLC called Quantum Ogre Publishing. So if you're trying to find us on Kickstarter, we're not there. I mean, you can see.
We're
I
an
guess you can
ogre.
see how many stupid projects I've backed, but other than that, it's Quantum Ogre Publishing.
Who's next? Is it Paul?
Oh, yeah.
Heard the
Dude, we already
alphabet.
did.
Oh.
We got to you.
E, F, G.
Oh, yes, P. I'm Paul Harpering. I can be found on Twitter, Paul_Harpering. I can be heard at the beginning of every episode of the Venture Maidens podcast as the voice of the narrator. I play in the Descent into Avernus campaign that Sage is running on the Venture Maidens as well. And I am also a member of the cast on the Curse of Lords podcast as well.
And I'm Sage, and if you want to see what horrible monster I designed for this book, be sure to back to get a PDF to see what monstrosity.
I'm very scared.
Katie, I'm sorry
Oh no!
for all of the worms you will have to
You're
draw.
so excited.
Sorry. You're
You're
gonna
not
put more
sorry.
worms in it. I
You
know you.
love it.
Not only worms, it's a tarantula that's made of worms. No, I don't know yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
Narval spider.
Why?
Oh, because at that point you would have both web and silk basically
Yeah.
together,
Mhm.
and then it could weave strands
I
of
don't like it.
different
Mhm.
things.
And
Stop
spiders are
encouraging.
covered in
No,
hair.
stop encouraging.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't.
But
I don't want.
the bits of hair are
And
tiny
you kill it with
worms on the
brooms,
spiders.
which are made of hair. Sometimes I don't know. Oh God.
Yes, so be sure to back to see what terrible fiend I conjure for you all. But yes, we'll be playing tomorrow in the Call of Cthulhu game that Celeste runs, where we will encounter more terrible things. The final session of that, yes.
The penultimate tomorrow. So and then
Yes.
after that we have one more session. So things are
yes, and-
spicy.
Spicy. And this Wednesday, I'm running Descent into Avernus, in which all of these lovely people, excluding Neil, I'm sorry, maybe next time.
It's okay.
I'll play in, and yes, follow me at Steph Sage on Twitter.
Yay! Well, thank you everybody so much for stopping by. And if you have already backed, which I'm sure you have because you're amazing and my best friend, tell other people about this book. If you have a dungeon master in your life or a player who would get a kick out of this book, please let them know. The clock is ticking on this final funding, and every donation makes this product better than what it is right now. We just contribute more and more to the book. So please. And thank you for being here. But I think that's all for now, everybody. So, did we have a thing we said last time? I can't.
I was
remember.
just thinking that. I'm like, we did not yell.
We did
venture
not.
to hair. We did not do it.
Hair. No.
Well, we should yell venture to hair.
Venture
now that
to-
you say it.
Okay, we're gonna
Okay.
do venture to hair, everybody. Okay. So until next time. Venture to hair. Oh, it's so gross, so tangled.
Why did you
Okay.
pause so long?
I'm sorry.
Celeste?
Sorry. Bye.